Before we begin with today's podcast, Bigger Sister Channel would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which this episode was recorded, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Bigger Sister Channel acknowledges that the space we occupy was stolen from the traditional owners and that our livelihoods exist as a result of colonisation practices at the expense of those who are already here. We pay our respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to all Indigenous people today. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to the Bigger Sister channel. My name is Estelle Lucas and this is our first episode of the Bigger Sister podcast. I'm the first Bigger Sister. I will be covering economic empowerment, but for today I've got my friend Elle to help me with the podcast.
Hello, my name's Elle Maran. I'm an escort in Melbourne. I've been doing sex work on off for the past 6 years and various forms of it.
I thought we could talk about our experiences in the sex industry as escorts, as private escorts primarily.
Yep.
So I've prepared a few questions and answers just to introduce ourselves. For those that don't know, just to quickly introduce myself in case this is the first time you're hearing me, I'm a 32-year-old sex worker based in Melbourne. I work privately. I recently won the 2022 Kenneth Meyer Innovation Fellowship, and I'm using that fellowship to launch Bigger Sister, a skill sharing platform for sex workers. And as part of that, I'm doing the podcast. And yeah, that's why we're all here today.
Yeah, absolutely. Shall we get started with some of these burning questions?
Yes. The thing is as well, these questions are so easy for us.
Yeah.
The first question that we've got lined up is, what are your views on sex?
I view sex as a bit of a pastime, honestly.
A bit of a pastime, what does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't feel like you need to be particularly connected to people to have sex. It's just something that you can do. The other day I was talking with a friend and I just mentioned that, have you ever had sex platonically with someone?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like, you can absolutely have sex platonically with someone.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
Heaps of times.
Yeah, so I just feel
I remember, oh my God, this is so funny. Okay, so, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was driving through the west coast of America, and so I was sharing a van for like a month with a friend, and we were just horny, and we were just like, let's have sex. And I'm like, okay. And we were just like, it was just like, I need to knock one off. You need to knock one off. We've got
this
same
trip together.
we both got to get this thing done. So let's just work it out.
Together.
Yeah, exactly.
Teamwork makes it dream work.
Yeah, so I totally get what you mean now.
Yeah. So I'm very relaxed about my views on sex, obviously.
Yeah.
To be an escort.
Yeah. Do you think you came to those views on your own or
100%. I think growing up, you're definitely instilled with this belief that sex is something that you have to preserve. And
oh yeah, I know that.
The virginity, preserve that as long as you can. To just be very, almost like a squirrel hoarding nuts. Like, not give it out too often. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise,
what? You become spoiled goods or something?
Yeah,
that's
I don't know.
stupid.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you?
Very on point, Al, because my family is Turkish Muslim, and so it really was instilled on me that virginity was just the epitome of your personality, basically.
Yep.
And because I have two brothers as well, and they were very involved in raising me, and they were just like, guys only want one thing, and they made me scared of men. They made me terrified of men, and I thought that every man was out to rape me, basically.
Oh God.
Because I got raised by teenage boys, basically.
Yeah.
And then I held my virginity for as long as I could, and I was horny from quite a young age. And then I lost my virginity at 19, which is quite late, especially considering I started sex work at 18. But that's a whole other story. And it was such a scam. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What was all this for?
Yeah, you walk out of there being like, oh, that wasn't anything really.
Oh, yeah. And then I had to even the score after that, and then it became a sport. So now I view sex as like a sport, and I'm going to win it.
Yeah.
Like every time in the bedroom, I'm going to smash you. Or when guys try to they over-sexualize things, I'm like, all right, let's go. You want to go? Because I can outlast you. Any day. Come on. You can have one, I'll have 3. We'll keep score. Anyways, that's just how I view which is fun, but it's also not romantic at all.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, next question is, how do you deal with work stress?
Oh.
When it gets a bit too much, sometimes all you can do is really just take a step back and take some time for yourself, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you?
Like you suggested, stepping away from that role and finding yourself, because I think there's a lot of smoke and mirrors that come with the work.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's always good to reconnect with yourself every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also like, I don't know about you, but like masturbation.
That's
honestly,
valid.
If I'm stressed, I'm just going to self-love. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I think that's so valid.
Yeah. And what other tips or tricks could people pick up about how to deal with work stress?
Yeah, because being able to take time off work is
a bit of a privilege.
It is a massive privilege. So apart from that, it is really kind of honing into your self-care routine and making sure that you're taking the time to look after yourself between bookings, and just at the end of the day, winding down, making sure that you're getting enough sleep, exercise.
Oh my God, sleep is so important.
Having, regular meals, which is something that I feel no one has anymore. But yeah, just really ticking off the basics, I feel, with self-care.
Do you know how many times I've walked into a booking and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to eat. I'm so sorry. Can we get food? Because just suddenly I'm starving and I'm hungry and I'm not, it's because life really does catch up to you sometimes, and especially
100%.
if you're going like you've got a really busy day and trying to fit in this booking. Yeah, I also find it can be helpful sometimes to get someone to do your admin for you.
Yes, I feel like a lot of my burnout does come from dealing with the admin, not the clients themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten into a routine with the admin where it doesn't take it doesn't cost me anything, any energy.
Yeah.
It's all just like, I've done it so many times now. It's been 14 years. I've got it down pat.
Yeah.
But I know through talking to friends and their work stresses, I'm just like, give me your phone. And I just like deal with all of their messages in like 10 minutes. And but also I don't put a lot of energy into the admins, because sometimes people put a lot of persona in their messaging with their clients, and I'm not like that. I'm just
I think it's good to save your energy for actual paying clients, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nowadays, I masturbate. Actually, that if you asked me that any year, that would same answer.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? It's kind of like revenge spending or like revenge sleep. You know, when you've got too many financial responsibilities, so you revenge spend, or you're not giving yourself enough hours in the day, so you stay up really late. Sometimes if I'm not getting gratified at work and that's stressful, I will go home and I will masturbate all day.
Yeah.
And that is how I deal with the stress.
Yeah, valid form of self-loving right there.
Yeah. But I do know, like, in the past, it hasn't been always easy. I know when I first started out, I was drinking a lot at work and outside of work. I think it's a very Australian cultural norm. And I don't think I realized how that was affecting my health or my behavior until many, many, many years later.
Yeah.
And now I'm very conscious of how I consume alcohol and why I consume alcohol. And I don't think I think it's a maladaptive, probably. Yeah, maladaptive coping mechanism, but probably not the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it's just a society-wide issue that people do.
Yeah, not unique to the industry.
No, not unique to sex work at all, but something that a lot of sex workers happen to deal with because it is so common. But I feel like for me, I have the privilege that if I'm really overwhelmed by work, I can take some time off and kind of reconnect with myself. But I know that that's not accessible to absolutely everyone. And for a period of time, it wasn't accessible to me. So in those times, I would just really hone in on my self-care routines. Like, I would go deep into like the skincare regime and anything kind of like regimented that made me feel like I was in control of myself and my body.
What's your star sign?
Leo.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Would make me feel really at peace with myself, knowing that I have this structure and this routine and this self-care kind of regime.
Yeah, I didn't learn what self-care was until like I think my mid-20s, I would say.
God.
Yeah, I was just renegading, raw balling life, just going right at it.
I highly recommend.
So those are the ways that I would deal with stress. But if you are in need of more options, I would suggest baths. Oh my God.
Absolutely. If you have access to the bath.
I can sit in the bath for hours. Oh, sorry. It's just, definitely like the self-care, that can be so many things, but I definitely find like magnesium oil, all the vitamins, all this, all that, good food, that.
Yeah, making sure that you're nourished.
Yes. Very, and also like time with your real life, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so, like,
your
time
real
with your
friends.
family, your friends, your
Pets.
chosen family, and just sort of leaving the work behind for as long as you can.
Yeah.
Before.
What's that
re-engaging.
called? Compartmentalization.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah. I think that's really important. Yeah. Another one actually that I forgot to mention is massage. I don't know why, but
no, because you're giving so much energy away physically, that when you get it back, it's really nourishing.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Like, highly recommend a good massage, at least monthly, if you are overwhelmed with work.
Also, just sleep.
Yeah.
And Netflix and just dissociating. Great. Yeah. I love it.
Brilliant. Ooh, what scares you, professionally speaking?
The law. Nah. I mean, yeah. Like, yes, I'm scared of the law, but I'm not like gonna respect. I mean, I totally respect the law. I'm a law-abiding citizen. But when you didn't have decriminalisation in Victoria, it was very difficult to respect the law and work safely. It was, in fact, impossible. So I think I respect myself more than I respect the law. And so perhaps under a different legal framework, I was doing illegal things as a sex worker, but it was to keep myself safe. It wasn't to, and that's, I think that's why it's scary though, because that's the choice that you're given. It's like, would you like to work illegally or would you like to work unsafely? So you're screwed, you're doomed if you do and you're doomed if you don't. So I would be interested to see, like, the police have turned from our regulators to now the people we go to help, and I don't know how that transition's going to go, but I guess we'll see. One day they're arresting you, the next day they're helping you. It's just a bit, I don't know. That's what I'm scared of anyways. What about you, Elle? What scares you, professionally speaking?
Probably the gaps in the resume.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The fact that we can't reference, we could, the thing is, we could, but it wouldn't be received well to reference.
Well, you just don't know, do you?
No, you
how
don't.
It's going to be received. And maybe they'll love it and you'll be their new favorite person.
Exactly.
Or maybe they're going to follow you for the rest of your life because they've taken a new interest and obsession with you. Like, literally, it happens when you are out as a sex worker. Sometimes people think, I don't know, you're on the market or something for their sexual perversions.
Yeah, and even just not being taken seriously if you do, because we do learn a lot of real business-related skills because we run small businesses, and to not be able to list those on a resume with any form of legitimacy because it's coming from sex work is a little bit frustrating.
I feel like we have a very unique skill set that makes us good all-rounders in a lot of
100%.
roles.
100%.
I mean, we can probably pick up a lot of roles outside of sex work.
Yeah.
Because of what we have to learn about the law, we have to learn how to be customer relations, we have to learn personal hygiene, we have to learn marketing, we have to learn, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of sex workers actually go on to be like website creators because it's part of what we do, and then they take an interest in it. Same with photography.
Yep.
And even graphic design, really. And video editing for the porn stars out there.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Describe your dream client.
Honestly, I've had some very dreamy clients. I love the suave gentlemen that come in with like the suits and the...
Like silver foxes?
Not necessarily silver foxes, but there's definitely, I do like a good silver fox.
Salt and pepper daddy.
Yeah, salt and pepper daddy. Or just like, I don't know, men that have...
That put effort into their...
Yeah. Like they've put on cologne and they even put on like cufflinks.
Oh, we
like
notice. We
notice every little detail. And
we notice when you have shaved, when you haven't shaved,
when you put aftershave on your balls.
Yeah. Oh my God, it tastes gross. Anyways.
It does taste gross, but it smells amazing when you're down there.
I'm just like, hard alcohol.
Yeah. But yeah, just very respectful and really relaxed in the booking, because I think some people have like this, they get to know you over a period of time before they book you, and sometimes they can be a bit like, oh my God, I've just met like a movie star.
Yeah.
But if they come into the booking really chill, really relaxed, really just looking for connection and fun, yeah, those are the best clients.
Yeah.
Just really relaxed ones.
Yeah. For me, and this is a personal answer for me, but because I think I've been doing this for so long, 14 years, I think if I had a client that was initiating and just like, okay, we're going to do the thing that, like the sex now, and like was doing most of the sexual labor literally, then that would be like pretty dreamy for me, because I'd be like, oh my God, I've just been wine, dine, 69. Like, this is great.
Yeah, I love those bookings.
And I feel like I'm just, because a lot of the time my clients don't know what they're doing. They're really shy. They're nervous. They're a bit starstruck.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah. But then I have to do all the micromanaging and because I do a lot of doubles as well. I'm like creative director of the
of the threesome.
Like, all right, now you do this, and okay, let's try this position. All right, and go. So I think it would be the dream if I didn't have to do any of that. And then, food's important, and lots of money.
Yes,
it's key to my heart.
Yep, I do like those things. If money was no issue, what would you do with your time?
Okay. I mean, money's kind of not an issue for me now. And
you're living the dream.
I'm kind of doing bigger sister.
Yeah.
I think I will have to work for the rest of my life regardless of how much money I make. I will go crazy otherwise. I need to keep busy, but all my work has to be fulfilling for me. Like, it has to be for a purpose. It has to be for a cause. Otherwise, I just can't sleep at night just being like, what? I'm just going to sit here wealthy.
Yeah.
How boring. Like,
just sit on some stacks of money.
And do what?
Yeah,
and do what with
exactly.
it? Like, it's just...
What's the point in that?
Yeah, I would have to... There's a lot of things I'd like to see done or see built.
Do you mean in terms of like advocacy for sex workers?
Probably
Mostly?
that, but also like other stuff like women's health, which I have a big
interest in. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, I'm one of those people that would go off to an island and live off the land.
Island life.
Yeah.
Do you think you would tan?
Probably not.
Have you tanned before?
No, not really. No, I've got very pale skin. Yeah, or just have like a big farm and
farm's nice.
Hobby farm or animal sanctuary, something like that.
I feel like every second sex worker that I talk to wants an animal sanctuary.
Yeah, / lesbian commune.
Yeah, or like a retirement home for sex workers.
Yeah,
I would like that.
That would be lit. But yeah, I would want to continue working, and I do get satisfaction out of what I do now. So in a weird way, I think I would continue. Yeah, what I do now, just probably a bit more
leisurely.
Yeah, a bit more leisurely with everything, trying out new things with like online content and porn and that kind of stuff, because I feel like it is almost a bit of a creative outlet. Yes. And I do enjoy sex. So
yeah. I hated online content creation.
I love the
I was
content.
So bad at it. I hate it.
Oh. I love the content creation. I don't like some of the aspects of the marketing, advertising, keeping in touch with
the people,
that kind of stuff. But the actual like creation and imagination that goes into making porn, I actually really love. Yeah. Yeah.
What's something that most clients can improve on?
Oral hygiene.
You took a deep breath there.
Yeah. Oral hygiene.
Why oral hygiene?
Brush your teeth, floss,
gargle. Floss is so important.
Yeah. A lot of people forget one of those steps or all of them. Especially,
and they think they can get away with it?
Yeah, no.
It's like we're literally there. We're literally there with our strongest senses.
We can tell that this is the first time in a week that you brushed your teeth just before we came. Like, oral hygiene goes into the daily routine. Just keep your mouth clean throughout the week, please.
Do you know, my like secret ability, I mean, it's not a secret now, but I think it must be the autism. So I can I can smell through kissing what someone has eaten last.
Same.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not just me.
No, unless they're like absolutely immaculate with their oral hygiene, which has not occurred to me yet. I can
take note, past clients of... sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, cum. I can taste how healthy you are by your cum.
Yeah.
The texture, the taste...
The battery acid flavour.
You don't even need to do any screening tests for your overall health. You just need to just come in my mouth and I'll tell you for you. Honestly.
Tell you which vitamins you're deficient in.
Yeah, I'll be like, you need to work on your iron levels.
Yeah. Get some more vitamins in you. This is the specialist
service that I offer on the side.
And I feel like you could definitely charge for that.
Charge it extra.
Yeah.
Come taste review.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone would buy that.
I like that. I do like that. No, yeah, we can tell.
Yeah, so you say oral hygiene.
Yeah.
I say
come.
No. Oh, well, I guess they could improve on that. But I just want something that every client could possibly do. I think
to take care of their bodies in general, because a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, taking your body is a lifelong process.
It is.
Maybe just, I know. You know what? Showing up for your escorts in their time of need. Like, not when you want, if that makes sense. Like, I remember when the pandemic happened, when which clients stood by me and which ones didn't. Like, it made me feel valued as a human and respected, and like that they would, even if it was just $20 during the pandemic, they're like, oh, I just want to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah.
Outside of the service in of itself. And that made, like, I think valuing your local escort outside of the service that they give you really goes far.
Yeah, because I guess it is.
I remember everyone that does that for me.
Oh, 100%. And like, it is a business transaction at the end of the day.
Of course.
But again, going back to the pandemic, a lot of people made the extra effort to make sure that their daily coffee came from their local place.
Yeah.
Like, just taking that a little bit extra time to appreciate what's around you.
Yeah.
But again, it's totally valid that some clients just want.
That's fair as well.
And that's part of that relationship, but there are some that go above and beyond, I think, which is really sweet and something that we remember.
I never say thank you. I mean, I'm grateful now, just to reply all to all of my clients that have helped me. I'm appreciative of you all.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at saying it though, I think. Anyways, moving on.
Describe the most interesting coworker you have worked with. I feel like you would have better stories than I do.
I work with so many people. So this is always my favorite story. So this kind of was like my lesbian awakening moment for me, because I always had doubles with other workers, and then a client organized a booking in Brisbane, and like this short, butch, muscular escort walked in, and I was just like, oh, hi, like short hair, and she was really perky and like really butch, and we were in the booking. She fucked me better than any guy. She had a strap on and she was just going for it, because normally, and I'm guilty of this as well, like I'm always, if I have a strap on, I'm very gentle because I don't want to hurt the other person, and I can't feel, because it's not mine.
No.
It's not one of my
it's
appendages. So I don't know where it's going and where it's hitting, so I have no feedback. But she was just going for it, and she just fucked the living shit out of me. And I remember this moment in the booking where I am quite, like, I don't do dirty talk, but I looked at her and she was like riding this client, and I just looked at her and this spilled out of my mouth. I was so embarrassed. I said, "You're such a slut." And
oh my God. And
I was immediately embarrassed because I don't speak like that. And she just looked at me and she's like, "Yeah, I am." And she kept riding, and I was just like, I'm in love with you.
That's
Anyways,
brilliant.
She was really interesting. And she was like a wrestler as well. She was just this. Anyways, I was just like, I'm in love with you, I think.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah. You definitely have some threesomes where, like, at the end of it, you're just like, am I falling in love?
Yeah. I think it's because most of my doubles partners are femme leaning. She was very mask leaning, and that sort of like that. Yeah, it's really like threw me
a nice refresh, because it's very few clients look particularly for mask. There's always a market for everything, and especially there is a king for wrestling and that kind of stuff. But yeah, you kind of have your worldview being like, oh, this is something new. I like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. Love a good lesbian awakening.
What about you? Who was your like most interesting coworker in the industry?
Again,
besides me, you know.
Yeah, of course, Estelle. I think I've just met like the most lovely people. I think, just really.
You've been lucky.
Yeah, really genuine, really like instant connections with a lot of the people that I have worked with. But again, I've relatively low experience, unfortunately. Yeah. Please book me for threesomes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I just find I've had some really lovely interactions with just really genuine people.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've been very lucky. I've been in this industry for a long time, and there's...
Actually,
you take it back?
No, I don't take it back. She was great, but she was like, I had a foursome booking with a couple and another escort, and she was in her 40s.
Oh.
And she was just like, you could tell she was one of the OGs.
Yeah,
you know, like she had seen it all. She was incredible in the booking and just like to talk to. She was from France. She had a beautiful accent, and she just it seemed like for every single bit of the conversation throughout the entire booking, she had like a really insightful answer to, or just like something to contribute. Like she had just lived all of these lives, and that awakened my love of MILFs.
Yeah. So, lesbian awakening and MILF awakening.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, no,
we love our co-workers.
Yeah, I love them. Absolutely adore them.
Just when you think you can't get any more sexual, you can just meet another.
Just unlock another kink.
Okay, next question. Can you run us through what your last booking looked like? Elle?
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know the answer to this question.
Yeah.
So.
I'm glad that this has been asked on this day, because last night had a threesome with a worker that I've idolized for some time, I think.
Yeah.
So it was like a dream come true, and it was with one of my regular clients that's very eccentric, and before the booking he had gone to a sex shop and bought 2 of everything.
What a cutie.
He's so sweet.
He's like, I don't know what to get, so I'll get everything.
Yeah, literally.
Twice.
Literally. He said,
just to make sure I've got it all.
Yeah. So we were like matching throughout the booking, like we were wearing the same like fishnets and all this kind of stuff, and we had like the same like 2 dildos. We had like one of those like double-ended dildos that you could use both sides of. We didn't get through absolutely everything.
No, it's hard.
Especially because it was only a 2-hour booking.
What's this gadget? What's this gizmo?
Yeah. But it was so much fun because he literally just let us have each other.
Yeah,
and
great.
He was in the background filming.
He was just refereeing.
Yeah. He was like, he was messing around with like the lighting and stuff, so he would get like the best theatre nerds. I love theatre nerds. So yeah, we just basically had each other for the entire 2 hours, trying out all these different things.
Really, isn't that the dream client?
That is the dream client, the dream booking, and I hope for many more like that, because it was honestly so hot.
What is your definition of success? Elle, go.
Freedom, just pure freedom.
Freedom from what? From whom?
God, that's such a deep question. I don't know.
Getting under your skin.
Yeah, I think it's just like the freedom and the confidence that whatever desire that comes over me.
Freedom from yourself? Ooh. Is that too deep?
Probably. I don't know. Just being able to know and feel secure in the fact that whatever desire that kind of comes up on the surface, you can fulfill. Yeah. And just lead that kind of like anything that you want in life, you can kind of keep on fulfilling that. Yeah. And you can work towards it, and you can have that confidence that you can succeed.
Everything's within reach.
Yeah, everything's within reach. I think that's a really big,
which is
part of success.
Like a privilege, which is probably 100%. Why
it feels like success.
Yeah.
Because I know what it feels like to feel like everything is out of reach and nothing's going to get better. So to have that absolutely uninterrupted feeling that everything's okay, that would be amazing.
I like that.
Yeah. What about you?
I think my views on success have definitely evolved over time. I think when I started out, I thought because I was an overachiever when I was a kid. So I was like, success was just being the best at everything. I remember when I started the industry, I'm like, I'm going to be the top escort. Like that was, and then I went to Europe and I was like, I'm going to be an A-class escort. And apparently A-class escorts need to know how to do anal. So I learned how to do anal because I wanted to be an anal. Like, I'm so competitive, and like
A-class.
Literally, that's what it stands for. That's what I was told. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to be like everything that I do.
I'm going to be the best at anal.
Yeah, literally. So everything that I do like I do too much, if anything. Like I do. So that's what I thought success was like. And then I experienced burnout on many levels.
Yeah.
And so success was more for me to just be and be okay with that, if that makes sense.
Like being content.
Yes. And have like you have enough with very little.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you have that, I don't know, it's very zen of me. It's not my natural temperament, but like that whole Buddhist sort of, or even Stoic sort of frame of mind or lens of looking at things, of being like, okay, so I actually don't need anything. I actually don't want anything. I actually don't need to strive for anything. I've got it all already.
Yeah.
And learning to sit with that, I think, is a form of success, because then you're winning wherever you go, whatever happens, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of having to like race to the top and then like kill yourself in the whole process. Anyways, next question. What is your definition of empowerment? I hate this word, by the way.
Empowerment.
Which is funny because I've named my whole course Economic Empowerment, but that's a play on words. Anyways.
Yeah. Empowerment. Again, you do see this thrown around so much.
I hate it. That's why I hate it. I think it triggers me. Like, sex work is not empowering. Well, why does it have to be? You don't ask that of any other occupation. Like, why does that have to be the qualifier for us to be treated with dignity and respect and be awarded our human rights? It's such an impossible standard to reach. Yeah.
So what is your definition of empowerment then?
Like, I understand the original I think the original intention of that word was to be like, it has, sex work has helped me go from A to B. And that was empowering because I couldn't go to B without sex work.
Yeah.
And I understand that logic. But I don't for me, when something empowers me, I think I'm no longer under its thumb. Like I'm no longer under this stress. Yeah. So that's why I think I picked the word economic empowerment for my module, I suppose, is because I didn't want people to feel by the end of the course any form of financial insecurity, or if they did, they had tools or systems in place to deal with that, rather than just sitting in this nervous state and then feeling like they must go to precarious working conditions because it's the only way. Like I didn't want people to feel that way.
Yeah.
And that's why I used empowerment, because I think it's about lifting off all of this. Sometimes it's self-imposed, sometimes it's imposed by society, sometimes it's imposed by other people, but there's definitely a lot of layers that can be ripped back.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, I don't know if that really defines it, but that's how I feel about it.
So would you say empowerment is kind of a state of being free of restriction?
Yeah, so I guess your definition for success is my definition of empowerment.
Yeah, there you go. they kind of do come hand in hand, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I feel like empowerment is just probably more on the thing of self-confidence, I think.
Right.
But then I also know that, self-confidence can't, if it's something's against the law or there's a societal stigma towards something, no amount of self-confidence is going to break through that. So I think it is, again, that kind of those layers of restriction no longer being there. And you can get to different levels of empowerment, I guess, with how much change in the world is happening.
Have you experienced empowerment in your lifetime yet?
100%. 100%.
Can you give us an example?
From the financial aspect?
Yeah. Right? It's a thing.
It is, absolutely.
I'm going to make it a thing. We're all going to be economically empowered by the end of this.
Absolutely.
Stay for the ride, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I started off in sex work at a point where I was going to food banks and vouchers and all this kind of stuff, and homeless, that kind of thing, which again I feel like is unfortunately a lot more common than people tend to believe, to a point where I don't rely on anyone but myself for what I have, and I'm very secure in my place in the world, and there's nothing that could really knock me out of housing or
Yeah.
anything like that, and anything that I need, I can get myself now.
Yeah.
Which is empowering.
Yeah.
To not be trapped.
That independence, no longer reliant on outside forces, I suppose.
Yeah, especially as a sex worker, sometimes if it's slow and you have a particular client that is particularly not your favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
But you have to keep going back to them.
Yeah.
And dealing with that, like that feels like you were trapped, really.
Yeah.
So being able to pick and choose, I think.
Definitely a privilege in this work.
It is a very privileged point, something I hope that everyone has access to.
Do you think your age affects your income as a sex worker?
Kind of.
You're kind of on the younger end of the... Because escort years are like dog years. No, I'm not joking. You know what? I was once booked. I was 24, I think.
Yeah.
And I got booked, and it was a dinner date, and I was locked in this like hotel room because he thought I was going to be like 35.
Oh,
because I was honest about my age, and he assumes everyone just shaves off 10 years. So, and he wouldn't go out in public with me because he thought I looked too young. And and so I was like, and there was such bad food in the hotel. I was very upset about this booking.
Oh,
and I was like, why am I getting punished for being honest? Sorry.
No, I feel like you have you know what it's like to be a worker in their early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, and then early 30s. So
yes,
how has it changed over time for you?
I definitely think when I was younger, I definitely attracted predatory clients, but like pray see pray. Pray see pray. You know, I'm going to eat you while you're eating me. It's just... So it was fine for me. I think if I was a bit more of a vulnerable character, maybe. But I think as I got older, it's a hard measurement because we've gone through a pandemic, we're going through a recession. Yes, I don't have as many clients as I once did. Definitely don't have nearly as... I used to have a lot of regulars, don't have any regulars. Except that one that I have already... That one guy. He's back.
Yeah.
But I don't really have regulars. So I don't believe it does. I don't think so, because it's about your marketing. It's about how you present yourself. People see you for you. Like maybe they come in through the door because they're attracted to the idea of a younger person.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I think what
They
keeps
stay
them...
for you.
They stay for you, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is also why I think I'm going to grow older with a lot of clients, because I do have clients that have seen me for 10 years.
Yeah.
And some of them can't even... Like their sex drives died. Like they're older. But they still see me because they, like, I don't know, invested in me now. They're like, all right, you're my Patreon person now.
Yeah, I love that.
So, yeah, that's my take. But what do you think you attract certain people because of your age?
Definitely. I get a lot of clients, and including the one last night, that are like, I think it's so hot that you're the same age as my daughter. So I hear that very often. A lot of guys that are in their 40s
work on that.
and 50s that are just like, oh, like, yeah, born the same year, and she's doing this at uni. What are you doing at uni? And then
getting a restraining order. That's what I'm doing.
So I do get a lot of clients like that, and then the other ones that aren't like that are usually on the younger side. I do feel like I get a lot of guys in their early 30s, I would say, but again,
all the 35-year-old males listening to this going, oh, I'm the younger side.
Yeah, literally. But the thing is, like, they're so common, and they'll be like, oh, I bet, like, you never get, like, a guy that's my age. And it's like, meanwhile, 80% of my clients are, like, 33.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
But I would say I don't think that your age necessarily defines your income.
Let's come back in 10 years and we'll ask Elle again. How's that sound?
Because I think I will be so, like, a lot of people that I've talked to that are working in their 30s say that when they were in their early 20s, like, they went through such a massive physical transformation. Like, they went from...
mine's the opposite.
Really?
I've told you this about 3 times today. My body thinks it's pregnant. It just...
But that's a transformation.
But yeah, no, you meant it that other way. No. Say it again. I'm very good at listening.
When, like, just physically you change a lot between your early 20s and your late 20s to early 30s.
I was right.
Yeah,
so
but, like...
I changed more in my later years rather than my early years. That's what I meant.
Yeah, right. But just kind of... Because
came into my womanhood. That's what my mum says.
Yeah.
She's like, you look like a woman now. I was like, thanks, Mum.
Yeah. And I think that it does take a bit of time, especially, I don't know, everyone looks kind of awkward from like the age of like 12.
Those awkward years.
Yeah, to probably 25, I feel like you're just a bit uncomfortable with yourself. And I do see probably like some of the top earning girls in the industry do tend to be in their 30s. And a lot of guys that do tend to book the longer dates that are like dinner dates and weekends away, they do prefer more mature women or workers. And I do feel like being younger kind of makes you guys less, like they don't want to be seen in public with someone that is half their age.
Yeah, understandable.
But again, I do get guys in their 30s that book dinner dates, so I still go on dinner dates. It's just with younger clients.
So that demystifies the whole, no one's going to love you when you're old.
Yeah, literally. You see girls.
Not only will they still want me, they'll pay for me.
Yeah. And like, you see workers that are in their 40s and 50s absolutely killing it.
Yeah, absolutely killing it.
Killing it.
What do you wish people understood about you or your work? I get misunderstood all the time.
Yeah. I think just it's a weird balance, but understanding the fact that there is a separation between who I am on a daily basis and my persona as an escort. Yeah. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that the things I do while I'm in work mode are inauthentic. Yeah. I think that's probably from more of like a client's view. That might be something I wish that they understood a bit more, that just because I have work mode on doesn't mean that everything I say or do is inauthentic.
Yeah, that's true.
It's still me. It's just professional me. Yeah. Yeah. Just
it's
like
a nice
anyone.
refined version, the best version of yourself.
It is. And that's what we all put on for work.
Yeah. I honestly do feel like I get misunderstood a lot of the time. I feel like a lot of people don't know what to make of me. And I feel like everything's very clear in my head. I just wish people understood that it's quite normal to help people. I am going to refer to my research, actually, because I did a lot of research as part of my fellowship that also brought me to creating Bigger Sister Channel. And it's this idea that sex workers are not competent. It's this misconception, this assumption that we're not competent, and that explains or justifies our involvement with the industry. When my research found most all of them were competent. They understood how things work. It's not like they had, maybe they had mental health struggles, but they weren't dumb. No. They could understand things. Yes. And it was, in fact, the inverse of that. It was because they understood things so well that they were in the industry. It's because they understood that they were in a precarious life condition that they went into precarious working conditions. It's because they were aware. It was because they were competent that they went, I'm going to change my situation by doing the work or something like this. It's not, oh, I'm so dumb and ditzy, I've fallen into this industry and no,
help me, save me.
Like, it's, most sex workers are competent, I would say, if not all. And except me, I'm a bit ditzy. And that's it.
We all, I like that because, we do see some people look down on you for choosing sex work, and I feel like it was, for me, very logical decision.
Yeah, very logical, literally. Very reasonable, very rational.
Yeah.
Last question. I'm going to bring it back to economic empowerment because that's the topic that I'll be covering. So as part of that, are you excited about any topic or factor of, I haven't even told you the list, Al, but like, is there something that you want to learn as part of that heading, I suppose?
I think for me, I have the opposite problem to a lot of people in that I hoard money.
Well, that was going to be my, okay, go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I find it really hard to actually take the chance to invest in myself and my brand. Yeah. So that's what, because I can save.
Well, that's actually one of my topics. Where should you put your money when you invest it into your business?
Which I think is so important.
So keep tuned. Follow.
Yeah. Because I find it really hard to separate with money.
I'm really good at that sort of stuff as well. Like, I know exactly where every cent should go once you get your paycheck, because that's all I did it was my full-time job. Like, that's, I just wanted to, told you, it was a race to the top, had to be A level.
Yeah. So, because I feel like a lot of people are you know, they say that there's spenders and there's savers. And again, being too far on the other side kind of hinders you. Like if you're a spender and then you're just not financially secure and all that kind of, and all the things that come with that. And then if you're a saver, it can be really hard to move forward with your brand and your image and to take risks because you're just so scared of losing money.
Yeah.
But there is a healthy balance, and that's what I'm interested for the
We'll
model.
see if we can answer some of those questions for you. I for me, like, because like I'm not financially literate. Like usually it's an expert that teaches you the topics, not me. I'm the layman's case. You've
learnt over time.
I've learnt some things, but definitely when it comes to the more educational stuff, I suppose, around finance, how to manage your finance, I don't really know. I mean, that's generational knowledge. That's dependent on your class. I come from a low socioeconomic area. I come from a...
But you're teaching it.
Well, no, because I'm going to go to the experts and ask them. Like and I figure if I can understand this by the end of the day, then everyone else can understand it, because I don't understand money very well. But anyway, so the one thing that I've always wanted to answer the question, and this has given me the, I guess the reason to, is how do you make money from money? Because I know how to work. I can work like a dog. I will always work. But how do you make money from money? I don't know. Yeah. It's a mystery. They talk about this economy. It sounds like astrology to me.
Honestly, I got into day trading for a little bit during the pandemic.
What is day trading? What are you
Astrology
trading?
for men.
Are you trading skills? Skill sharing?
No, no, absolutely not. And yeah, that literally like the...
Maybe I'll interview you, Elle.
God, yeah, I'm actually doing a finance degree.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. But again, it's
learning about you, learning about me.
All the nerdy stuff, but yeah, day trading, that's astrology for men.
Yeah, 100%. It has to be. That doesn't sound real.
But again, it's something that those kinds of things, like investments and portfolios and the different types of investments as well. Like you can have like shares, you can have real estate. Some people have art. Some people have, you know, there's so much that you can invest in.
I'm still not convinced money is real either. So maybe that's part of the problem. But
sometimes you look at all this stuff and you're like, it's not real, is it? Like
I can't.
Interest? Oh my God. Free money?
I don't know. I need to feel it. I need to see it. I need to hear it.
Cash is king.
Literally. Yeah. And we'll talk about the effects of that as well.
But that wraps up our first episode. Thank you so much, Estelle, for inviting me on.
Thank you for joining me through this awkward adventure.
Where on social media can you find Bigger Sister?
I literally just today did, oh my God, I did the Facebook, I did the YouTube, I did the Twitter, I did the LinkedIn, I did the Pinterest. Don't even know how to use Pinterest. There's more.
Pinterest.
I did the email address.
Oh my gosh.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so where exactly can we find you?
Bigger Sister Channel, that's the handle.
Yeah, brilliant.
Except for Twitter and Snapchat, which didn't let me do the character limit, and it's Big Sis Channel. Thank you for listening. Tell us what you think.
See you next time.